should I do like the perfume thing where you do like that and put it behind your ears? Who knows, you know? Cool stuff. Hey, Instagram, it's me, T from the Pattersons, taking the train for a bit. Man, mosquitoes, season. But I got some, don't bug me, wild idea spray, anyway. You know what I mean? Like that. Just put it on my arms because they're annoying. Put in the hair, see what happens. Okay. Hey, it's a welcome into Grand Rising Report. Yes, it's a Grand Rising Report. Now, I decided, I write stuff in my book, but now I decided let me be a real reporter. Well, I'm sorry. You know how they used to have the little pad and stuff like that. The cops flip it out. But the point is, as a reporter, you got to make notes, right? So I'm going to start to make notes. Because usually when I talk, I just talk what we call extemporaneously. It's a big word. I wonder if the brother even knows what it means. Anyway, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 5. I can't read. 5 points. That doesn't mean it's going to be a short report. I'm just saying it's 5 points, right? I'm supposed to talk about international war. Oh, I can't read my own writing. Can I tell you, when I first came to Oroville 20 years ago, 21 years ago, whenever it was, I was also on a little mission, right? And in fact, I met this woman named Lakshmi, and anyway, it was right. Anyway, we wasn't anything, we were just. She was just and I wanted to see a doctor, right? But something was happening. I wanted to see a doctor, so she took me to see a doctor, right? I saw the doctor, and I had written stuff down. And so the doctor, he looks at the thing, he says, "Oh, I see." He says, you have the handwriting of a prophet. Meaning you can't read it, right? Now, I'm not sure, but I'm just saying, I don't know whether he was snapping on me or whether he was serious. He the same thing happened with when I was taking capoeira with Maestre Jacques Grande. He would say stuff, and you don't know whether he was kidding or if he was serious. Like my capoeira name is Crisco. Now, Crisco means lightning, I guess in Portuguese. I don't know. That's what it's supposed to be. Now, I'm quick, but I'm not no lightning guy. So you see, these cats, these older guys that have knowledge, they mess with you. Anyway, it says international warrior, right? I think that has to do with when I was talking about my commander-in-chief, who I know Captain Tudore, I call him Commander Ibrahim, and when I thought he was going to, anyway. So I'm saying that's what we really need now. We need international warriors. I know people got their little national, they got their interests here, this or there, and I think a lot of times when they emerge, everybody's gonna want to, oh no, you gotta help us. Oh no, be our commander in chief like that. And, it's interesting because in the States, you got Trump as the commander in chief of a bunch of things, right? And everybody responds to him, and a lot of these countries like the European Union and stuff like that, they depended so much on the United States to be their bulldog, whatever you want to call it. So anyway, the point is, so it's an era here. It's an era. It's an epoch. Epoch. I wonder if the brother knows what it means. Better look it up. Anyway, so you have these people emerge, and they really are internationalists. I know people have their, like for instance, one of my favorite, Robert F. Williams. Negroes with Guns. He was an internationalist. You see that kind of thing. So just point that out. What does this say? Black History Month. Oh, hey, it's February something, 2nd, 3rd, I don't know, like that. Which means, now this is we call it. How do they say this days? It's Black History Month or Negro Employment Month. This is where for 28 days, all the Negroes, all the academics, all the whatever they get jobs. I mean, they get to speak here, speak there, appear there, and the more, so it's a good month to be, I guess, an academic. Somebody has knowledge and stuff like that. or knowledge of the black world, or pretend they have knowledge of the black world, have, whatever it is, like that. In fact, I should say something. I should say, I don't call people out, but I have to say it's because he's what we call ubiquitous. That's another big word to brothers use. Does he know what these things even mean? Anyway, I'm talking about Dr. Umar Johnson. No, I have no shade on Dr. Look, I experienced Dr. Umar Johnson. I mean, I met him when he came to South Africa. They had first, he had come to. There was a PhD student at Fort here who had some contacts, who got some money together and bring him over there. He's supposed to come to Steve Biko Center. He's supposed to come to us in Zimbabwe to see what we was doing there. And anyway, so he was in East London at the Fort Hare campus in East London, right? The students there was there, right? But so I talked to him a little bit. I was a part of the crew when it came to that thing. They were hanging around with him, right? I didn't say, look, I have this thing with what we call celebrity, right? Because I grew up, Negro Ensemble company, there's a whole bunch of celebrities. I don't have no charismatic people, celebrity. They mean, they're like, yeah, okay. I remember this time, look, back then you had like Sidney Poitier, all the people, Harry Bell. And one time I was sitting on the steps of Negro Ensemble because they had these long steps that come up. One landing there, I think that was what was that? I think that was the administration offices. Then you come up to another landing, which is where the shop was, and then over, where you make the sets and stuff like that, and you go to the theaters over there, and then you come up another level, and that's where the classrooms up, that we work. And I was sitting on the steps. I would sit there quite often and just watch stuff. Like, I would see the dancers running around like, dee, 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 dee. I'm talking male and female dancers. So I was like, because I'm from the project. I never seen that. Well, we had people have that persuasion in the project, but they were part of the group. They weren't like all gang together. Nothing even. Anyway, the point is, one time Otto Preminger was coming by, right, like that, and it like in the projects, like where in my building, that we had these like step ramps that come up, and quite often like cats would come by, and like one time, like my friend said, the young guys would be messing with the old guys. So one guy, I smacked him in his head like that. Now ran up. Look, we had fun, right? So I see Otto Preminger in his bald head. I just had this impulse. I didn't do it, but I had this impulse just to smack his head, like I was in a project. No, but it didn't. Anyway, why did I say that? Oh, Dr. Johnson. And so he was there, and I was impressed because he had gone to Cape Town. He went to Marcus Garvey Village, because I guess the people have some sort of roster affiliation with Marcus. I'm going like, you went to Marcus Garvey Village. Marcus Garvey Village is part of Philippi. Philippi is by cross. It's a same rough area. I guess it's still a rough area now. I think they have the highest crime carjacker somewhere anyway. So I was very impressed. You went to Marcus Garvey Village. Woo! I used to hang out there. Thursday jump ups and stuff like that. Anyway. So I was impressed, and then what happened though? Here's the interesting thing. There was some drama because he didn't get to the Basel because there was just a bunch of black students, and there was a drama, and Dr. Johnson used his skills as a psychologist, whatever, to really diffuse that. It was really interesting. I mean, people were crying and stuff like that. So, whoa! I was like, oh. Do what he's talking about, and so we kept on that. We ended up we went to took him someplace to eat. Right before, I suggested it. We got this. Did we go to the place? Somehow food was involved, but we were sitting someplace by the beach, and so all this time I wasn't messing. Then I got this opportunity. He was just sitting there. So I said look, I really respect what you do, but when you call out these preachers and like that, I said I find that unnecessary. The work that you do on Tuesday, every Tuesday, he would get these phone calls from parents, stuff like that. I said the work you do there is really important. That kind of work is really, really important, and I don't think it's necessary to. I guess I got Mr. David Fuller Jr. on mine. I said, did you call these people? What for? This cause is da 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 da. And he just patiently said, So that was my advice. But like I said, I don't mess with celebrities and and muckety mucks and people who got status or charisma. I don't really mess with them. So that was my interaction. But I really respect him for that. And since then, he really don't. He does his thing. He does his thing. He's a race man, right? Which is quite funny to me because if you're a descendant of Frederick Douglass and you're a Garvey, then you must know that Frederick Douglass, he had German. He got blood in him like that. You must know that Marcus Garvey. You must know that he was in love with a white girl at one particular point early on. Just like Martin Luther King, he's in love with a white girl. Just like Barack Obama, in love with a white girl. So I find it kind of. You say, well, how do you know that, brother? Because the first normal radio I ever did was on Marcus Garvey. Don't worry. Do your research. I'm telling you. So this race thing is kind of interesting to me because, don't get me wrong, you can do it. You can say, you got weakness, no mixing. But most of us, anyway. So my thing is this, or I look at it like this. Okay, follow me on this. Okay, we all come from Africa, right? And then let's call it. Let's call it Lake Victoria, and then migrate from there, right? And come down there. Yeah, like for instance, my wife has a son. She's original, or whatever, and they're acknowledged as like the first people down in Southern Africa, right? And then they sort of spread out of Africa, and then when they went up, they sort of mutated. I don't say mutated. Yeah, I'll say mutated. Mutated, and they lost some melanin because of certain, however they say it, right? But I believe what happens, you go like that, but sooner or later, you start this, what they call race mixing, and then, you sort of almost come back, not physically, but come back to that source. I'm not making sense to you, let me see. Let me put it this way. When I was, where was I? I think I was in Kathmandu. Yeah, I was in Kathmandu. I was up there in Nepal. And I met this brother there, and he was married to, I think it was an Irish woman, and he was from, I think, Uganda, something like that. And so we got in this conversation, and I said, well, how come he wasn't, with somebody from Uganda? He said, I had you, but some of us, no, he said, I know my women in my thing, and this is another woman over there, and, I could have, but this was, he basically said, not that she was exotic, but she's just a woman. She's from another culture, and that's what it is. So I'm trying to say is people naturally will do what they do. Here's where it gets interesting because of the racial, because of the war, because we're at war. Mr. Neely Fuller Jr. says you shouldn't be race mixing under the system of white supremacy. People keep on missing that. Under the system of white supremacy, there can be no because the white person will always be supreme. It's like being in jail and you're being bonked by the warden, the jailer, and the jailer can leave and go home, but you can't go home. So what he's really saying, what Mr. You got follow me on this, is that the only way you can be with a person out of your race is by getting rid of the thing that caused the race, by getting rid of the system of racism, white supremacy. In other words, we shouldn't be, in that case, you understand what I'm saying? If there was if the system of white supremacy didn't exist, if it was replaced by a system of justice, then there wouldn't be an issue because everybody would be under the system of justice and not under the system of white supremacy. White supremacy causes the person with less melanin in his skin to be supreme over the person with a lot of melanin. I mean, even Marcus Garvey said, what he said there, any place you go in the world, the darker person is always on the bottom. Doesn't matter. You could be in Scandinavia and you have the blonde, whatever, but the person with the brunette, whatever, they're going to be subject. They're going to be preyed upon, whatever it is, by the less melanated person. So if you want to marry a white person or whatever it is, you can, but just know there's going to be friction. Now, the only way to stop that is by getting rid of the system that says that you can't do it, or that it's there so that you can't do it. You all can follow that. It's quite simple, So it's not that you can't. It's just that you have to do you have to first you have to make it so that you can. You can if you make it so that you can. Okay, I'll let you all figure that out. And plus, we all mixed anyway. Like I said, my wife she's supposed to have Zulu and San things, so that's two different cultures, right? She black, and I got Mohawk and I guess some white and some, but we get to that's at least I've counted 5 different cultures that are coming together. We don't have any children, but I'm just saying. Okay, let me see what else I have here. White world bridger. Oh! Under the Mayan system, I'm a white world bridger. In other words, I'm supposed to bring disparate things together. I'm not talking about people exactly. It's not about white. The white is not as far as people. They just call it a world bridger. I'm supposed to bring, and interestingly enough, that's what I do. I bring disparate things together. Things that should, that's what audio drama is. I bring elements together that, like a classic example would be. Let me say my audio drama group. That's my first real audio drama group repertoire company was Creative Unity, which when I trained them in radio and put them on radio, they were Creative Unity Collective. Now the reason why I did that, the reason that happened is because I was at School of Visual Arts. I was an artist model, and they were students. And they did a program, and they did a program, and I asked if I could, because they knew me, everybody knew each other. And I said, well, I want to do a poem for your program. And I wanted to do a county color poem, the one that rain in, it's good night rain or something like that. Because I just like county color. I'm a county color fan. I'll talk about stuff with that boy, he had a honeymoon. He had a honeymoon with his wife, and he brought his male lover along. Oh, it's outrageous, right? These people do outrageous. When I say these people, I mean artists. They do outrageous things. Anyway, so because of that, and I saw all the stuff they were doing, and then I said, y'all are really good, because they were at the time they were like imitating Edward, the mayor of New York, Cotton Mayor Koch. They was imitating Ronald Reagan. But if you see them live, they're black. So I said, if you did this on radio, then it would be different, because in radio you could do whatever your voice is. And so I convinced them. I think I got them in a position there before. I convinced them how to come to the station. They got a little money right there, and then that's how the real radio program started. Anyway, let's see. So that's bringing things disparate. Friendships. Oh, last night or yesterday. Yesterday. I have friends. I have friends here in Oroville. And the cat that runs the Carol's Spice Shop, him and his wife, right? So his name is Ramu, R-A-M-U, right? Ramu. And his wife's name is Pony, like Pony. This Indian name, right? Anyway, she's a PhD student like that, and I had never met her, but I talked to him all the time. So they wanted to take me. They wanted to take me to see a like a sunset. Like in South Africa, we call it, what the hell we call it? I forgot what we call it. We call it sundowners. Yeah, we have a sundowner, right? But they don't call it sundowner. But just to see the sunset, because we're about to see here. But unfortunately, I was trying to explain to everybody. The sun rises in the east. That's right over that way, right? And they set in the west. But we're on the east side, and I guess they forgot about that. Not they, but Ramu did. Let's put the thing where he the one driving. They had a car. We were there driving a car. So we end up showing me this village. They go down this village. It was really, really interesting. Hope have some ghosts. Anyway, so then we get back to the beach. But then they realize, it's this is that's the sun rises. It's quite funny, right? So we started just walking around. It was nice. It was just nice, And she got a little snack on the road, little sweetie things. I'm not really into it, but hey, this is the thing. I'm not really into snacking, especially on sweets. But I got it. I'm taking it because you're being polite to your company. You can't say, well, you can. But I find when I travel, if you go someplace, somebody has a meal in your honor, and then it's a big old pig with an apple in his mouth. You don't say, no, I don't eat pig, blah, blah, blah. You say, oh, thank you. And you just take a little piece and you take a symbolic bite. You take big deal. And they go, well, maybe we'll kill you, give you some worms or something like that. What can I tell you? But they're your host, and you, well, you should tell them, forget you. Anyway, so they were lovely. And plus I got to talk, right? Now Mahmoud doesn't talk, but his wife is a talker, right? And so we had a grand time, and they were all apologetic, we wanted to do this, but we got to go another time. So yeah. But I took them to, then we came back, we went to Pangaea, one of my favorite restaurants in Orville, which is basically right around the corner from where their shop is. And it was interesting because they had never been to Pangaea, so it was a good hookup. Again, the World Bridger bringing things together, right? So anyway, so that's it, like that. But I do have a question. I've got I don't know what's happening in Mozambique. They're reporting on all kinds of things, but I've got to do my internet. I got to start looking up what's happening in Mozambique, what's happening now. That's so. Your intrepid reporter has to find stuff out for you, because this is what we do. This is, in our morning, this is a Grand Rising report, and we report. We report throughout the day too, but this is an official report. All right? So you enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll talk to you later on today. You got to, because it's a Monday, it's a me day, but you'll understand. See you later.